grab my nuts. I swab my nuts. I lick my nuts. I do everything to my nuts.
Hello and welcome to the Poop Wallet Podcast, Episode 5. I think. Yes, that is correct. I did not bring nearly enough water for this, and I'm going to die of thirst out here. But that's okay. I hope you guys like the new outfit. As the economy gets worse and worse, I think people are going to wiggle out more. That's kind of what I'm doing. I'm just wiggling, wiggling out, bro. Anyway, I had a great idea. And that is to take notes while I'm doing the podcast. And that way I can keep track of what I'm saying easier and we can have a more coherent thing going on. We're past the thing with burps right now already. Like you're gonna have to get over it. It's what's going on here. Everybody else in my life has gotten over it. You have to as well. Anyway. Sure, I'll make a note. Burping. Also, do you guys hear that train in the background? How annoying is that? That's crazy. Anyway, I got some Swisher Sweets. I love these. I've got some Swisher Sweets. I love these. Delicious Swisher Sweets. A Poop Wallet is sponsored by Swisher Sweets. So, if you guys are out at your local gas station, go ahead and buy some Swisher Sweets while you're there. We love them. That's right. And I am gonna smoke this. I will smoke the Swisher Sweet sponsored brand deal. Whew, man, it is hot in here. I tell you what. Uh I was gonna open up that window over there, but there are wasps in the window. They built a home in the window over there, and I almost stuck my hand into a live wasp nest. So that was pretty scary, I thought, Um I'm working on saving up for a camper van. That is my next goal in life. I'm going to go to Branson, Missouri, and there in my camper van, which by the way, I'm living with my parents right now, all support. It's very, helpful right now because the economy's ruined. I got pushed out because friggin' they fired all the online workers. Wasn't my fault, not at all. Where was it? Oh, fuck. I didn't get a lighter. Jesus Christ. Alright, we'll be right back.
This is sponsored by America. Go to America. We need more people. If you're not in America, go to America. Yep.
Alright. I think we are back. Now I have a little fan going on over here in the corner, but I hope the noise is negligible. It really it should be. It should be anyway. So yeah, what was I talking about? Burping. Thank God for the note list. Well, anyway, I guess. Anyway, I got the Swisher Sweet. Got a lighter for it, so I'm gonna partake in that. Wow, what a nice thing. Coastal cocktail, kiwi peach. Huh. I mean, it's okay. You know, this is what we're supposed to do. We get on podcasts, we smoke cigars. Where's the money? I'm wearing the watch too. I'm doing everything I can. I need an ice bath next. I'm gonna get this down. I'm gonna get this podcast thing down. I'm gonna figure it out. Look, I got Have a half bit backwards hat. Yeah, man. So like the aliens, man. Um, the aliens, man. I think that yeah, man. We're all going away in a couple of years. It's all AI, bro. The aliens want us to be AI. Yeah, man. Fuck. I got a fucking Scooby snack from this. What the hell? It's like the worst kind of thing. I'm gonna go up in flames if I keep doing this shit wrong. Ah. Also, brutal thing about wearing rings is that I scratch my nose like with my fists like that, so I just end up brutalizing my face every now and then. It's like I'm just taking a pair of brass knuckles to my face and punching it. That's jewelry. It's just too much. I have got too much jewelry. Also, if anybody wants to give me real jewelry, for the love of God, I'm here. I'd like it. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. So I'm gonna be having a scientist on soon. You know, not really. I can't get a scientist on here. I bet I could. I bet I could get a scientist on here. Now I think about it. Well, I don't know if they would come in. I don't know if they would come here. You know, per se. Uh, but you know, I think I would be able to get a scientist maybe over a video interview or something. If you're a scientist, you know, like let me know, man. I'll fucking I'll get some knowledge out to these freaks. You know, these people that are actually listening to this. So far, I've gotten 0 comments. By the way, I'm still watching that. Just waiting, just waiting. It's day 3 of doing a podcast every day until I'm rich and famous. What the hell was I talking about? I was taking the fucking I don't know, doing podcaster stuff. All right. I have to, in order to be a podcaster, I must LARP as being a podcaster. To be something, you must LARP first. And that's the only way. You have to LARP until you make it. You LARP it till you make it. Yeah, I like that. I like that phrase. Kind of onto something there. Doing podcast things. So I did actually try out a sauna a couple weeks ago. Um and it was actually really nice. I felt like my bones like loosened up in my body. It felt like you know, like I was just like one of those little like Stretch Armstrong dudes. Like you could just take me and bounce me around and jiggle me. Like I was just so loose. I was so loose, you know, after doing that sauna, you know, my insides they were just opened up and expanded. My pores, my body in general, my skin, my flesh, you know, is smooth like butter. You know, my eyes they were turning blue. You know, it's yeah, that was a crazy thing. It was a crazy thing. This whole fucking thing. It's crazy what a sauna can do for you. My hair was starting to turn blonde. The longer I sat in the sauna, the longer my or the further blue and blonde my hair got. I started getting taller. Got to make sure that doesn't run out. I started getting taller in the sauna. You know, there's many benefits. There's many benefits. Yeah, man. I've been doing this like red light therapy, man, and you know, it really helps my vision, man. And what I do is I have this room in my house where like the floors, the walls, and the ceilings are all covered in LCD screens. And I walk in there, you know, and I wear socks as to not disturb the screens on the floor. And I turn all the lights in the room to red, and I inject myself with some ketamine. Sometimes I use mushrooms, and I'll just lie in there for a couple hours. I tell my wife to not disturb me for 5 hours, and I just sit in the red room until I'm back. until I'm back with the earth. And that's red light therapy. It's just the next step of it. It helps my eyesight a lot. One night I calibrated it wrong and accidentally turned the lights blue instead of red. And it was a blue light room. And it instantly gave me stage 1 cancer. So, like, don't do that. You know, I don't make the rules. I just fucking say them. I had horrible warts all over. Anyway, um, it's kind of funny. Genital warts. You know, do you have genital warts? What is that? What is that like? Um, does it make you feel bad? What do you do about genital warts? Because I know when you get a wart on your finger, you get like a tiny rubber band and you put it around it or something like that. But if you did that on your willy, then wouldn't that like that would hurt? Just thought. Just thought I had. Um, I've been thinking about Chinese immigration. Um, I kind of think we need more of it. I uh, I heard that we have more Chinese restaurants than in America than fast food restaurants combined, and I gotta say that's kind of a good thing because their food's really tasty over here. Americanized Chinese food is the best food out there. Debate me. I don't care, bro. Counting or not counting Chinese buffet, definitely counting Chinese buffet, bro. We definitely are. So yeah. Also, like, you ever been to an Italian buffet? What do they have there? Like snails? You can go. All you can eat snails. Oh, all I can eat spaghetti. Thank God. White noodles or red noodles? All I can eat. It's just a bar of noodles. I don't want that. Chinese restaurants, like, you got a fucking squid over here and then a cake on the like right next to it, and they're made from the same thing, just different parts. So it's like, you know, God, sushi's so good too. I love sushi. I'm in a really hungry mood today. If you guys couldn't tell. Whew. Support the podcast so your boy can eat. So your boy can go back to Chinese restaurants. They actually haven't really got up in price too much in the past couple of years. Funny enough. However, the fucking like $11 is actually pretty expensive these days, So I mean, but I'm not gonna get into that. I'm not gonna get into that. I think it's a good thing. I think it's a good thing that we get that we're limited on our Chinese food because otherwise we'd be really fat. I'd be really fat if I could just eat Chinese all day. Remember that Chinese guy that ate a woman and then like just like was released from jail like very soon, like early on, or like he was released from jail very soon after being convicted or whatever, and he became a celebrity after eating a girl. What the hell? What the hell? Cannibalism. I'll write that down. That's we're making we're making good progress. Cannibalism. Talk about a lot of things here on the show. Burping, doing podcaster things, and cannibalism. 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 Yeah. But butter. Ooh, the butter mom trend. I saw that recently. It was like, growing up with a butter mom, and it was just a bowl of spaghetti. And I was like, so a butter mom is the opposite of an almond mom. Because an almond mom is like, we gotta fucking not get our kids vaccines or something. I don't know. I don't know I don't know what's. But an almond mom, she'll make you fucking drink almond milk or something because it's healthier. But then a butter mom, she'll put a stick of butter onto your plate of food because it just tastes better. And, like, it's better. And it's like, oh, and he needs it. I like that. I think we should all be butter moms. Just eat, bruh. Just go get some food and cook it, bro. Oh, fuck, I ashed on myself. But, like, yeah, just go get some food and just cook it, bro. Like, you don't need to buy fast food all the time, man. What's funny, though, is that, like, if I had the money, I would only be buying food that other people make for me. It would be very easy to poison me. I would never make my own food. If I had the money, I would never make my own food. Ever. Why would I do that? Why would I waste my time making my own food whenever I could have a slave do it for me? Or an indentured servant, or, an employee, if you will. So, like, why would I make my own food if I could have somebody else do that for me? Just doesn't make sense to me, man. Just, I'm talking about trying to get everything streamlined and in a process. I want every part of my life to be a system. Hyper organization. Wake up at 4:30, brush my teeth, shit, get out of bed, go to the shower, go to the gym, eat at the market. I don't know. Just do all the things. Go buy paint. Paint a house. Paint a store. Open a house. I'll open a store. Buy a house. I forgot what I was talking about. Markets. I was talking about markets or something. I don't know. That's all I remember. Buy a house, bro. I'm trying to keep notes to keep track of what the fuck's going on. It's hard. Um, but yeah, man, this is good. You know what? This cigar, it's actually not as bad as I thought. These Swisher Sweets, kind of kicking it. Not bad. After smoking like Newports or whatever the fuck I was smoking for a minute there. These are a lot better. Ah, you can tell that these are not quality though, because like whenever you actually do inhale them, it doesn't murder you like an actual cigar does. So like, you know, kind of hits more like a cigarette whenever you actually inhale. Tastes more. I mean, it tastes like a cigar whenever you puff it into the mouth, but if you've ever accidentally inhaled an actual cigar, you know how bad that is. And being a podcaster, I've inhaled many a cigar before in my life. I've smoked them backwards, forward, frontward, upside down, and even sideways. So I'm very accustomed to smoking cigars. You cannot catch me on my Samsung. I fucking love Gucci Mane, bro. Gucci Mane, what's up? I don't know anymore. But I do love Gucci Mane. Gucci Mane. Shout out. Shout out to Gucci Mane. I love you, Gucci Mane. Do you see this, bro? Leave a comment. Make some more music, bro. You better. Oh shit! I didn't mean to do. All right, all right. Yeah, now that wasn't. I kissed my lips and then I said, "Okay, I need to just." All right, yeah, all right. I don't. I didn't even mean to do that. So that was yeah, that's fine. That's fine though. Nazis should be killed. I think we should kill Nazis. That real Nazis. I'm really scared of actually. But we'll segue from that into something else. The whole idea that the government is coming out and being like, hey, by the way, there are aliens that are Nordic. there are Nordic aliens with blonde hair and blue eyes. I think that should be extremely alarming to people. Isn't that like literally Nazi ideology? I I don't know much about Agartha or about any of that stuff, but I know that stuff leads to some scary ideas from what I've seen, and the idea that there's an alien race out there made up of blue-eyed, blonde-haired, tall Nordic people, and that they're just white people is insane. That's a I can't imagine I can't imagine that's real, because like what? And also there's no way it makes sense because they're also trying to sandwich in like, by the way, there are gray aliens and reptilians and like all these other stuff. So I can't tell if it's like a disinformation campaign or if it's like uh you know them trying to be like, yeah, there are aliens, but like we think it's this and they're just actually crazy. Because I know that there's some ideology in there where like especially with wars nowadays, there's always a bit of religion when it comes to wars. There's always a little bit. So like it's the elite. They're doing ancient religious wars. I'm pretty sure anyway. I don't really know. I've never sat down and talked to an elite guy. You know, hey, do you guys do like ancient wars with gods? And he'd be like, "What are you talking about?" And I'd be like, I'm probably crazy. You're right." Yeah, like and subscribe if you think that aliens and if the elites are trying to do pacts with ancient god demons or whatever. I don't know, bro. I don't know what these forces are. I don't even know if there are forces. Are we able to comprehend stuff that is outside of our comprehension? That's what they're asking you to do. That's what everybody is trying to do when it comes to like the alien shit. Like that's like an ant trying to figure out what a human boot is after it steps next to it and then just keeps walking. He's like, okay, well, I've never seen that before. That was, that just what was that? Like I've got a whole civilization down here. I'm taking care of the queen fucking ant, and then like this boot comes out of the sky. This guy comes up to me. This guy with like a ray of light, magnifying glass, comes and he burns all these ants, and these guys are like, what? I can't describe that. I don't. How am I supposed to tell the other ants about this? I'm gonna be perceived as crazy. Nobody's gonna believe me. Or you ever see those videos where people like they'll put like sugar or whatever out on the ground and like the ants will come and find it and be like, oh sweet sugar, and then they'll bring it back to the the colony of ants, and then they the rest of the colony goes back to get the sugar, but then the person he replaces the sugar with like, I don't know, like just sand or something, and it makes it look like the ant is a liar. How was the ant supposed to be like, I didn't lie? There was sugar here. How like they can't perceive it. It's outside of their perception. It's unperceivable, and that's us, bruh. That's us in the bigger picture. Like when we try to understand these aliens and other forces and like whatever like whatever's going on, like people try to define this as like a simulation or whatever, or like, oh, it could be a simulation of something real. A simulation doesn't mean that it's not real, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Bro, like, what are we doing, man? I think we're just like, let's just go off of our pre-programmed instincts. I think we're pre-programmed for a reason to know that some things are evil and some things are good. Like because like having kids equals good. You know this. Everybody knows this. It is intrinsic within us to have kids and like grow the population. That's every form of life. Every form of life wants to have kids and grow their population. So whatever uh shit Yeah, I don't know. I was on to something there. I don't know, man. Every form of life wants to grow their population. That doesn't make them evil. What the fuck was I saying? This is why solo podcasts are useless. If you're listening to this, like you probably hate me right now because I just forgot what I was talking about. What am I doing? I need to get a guess. I need to get a guess. What am I doing? God dang it. Yeah, you're putting me through this, you know. I'm doing this every day. I have to get better at this. I gotta figure out a way to just start remembering stuff better. Because I just lose my train of thought. What am I supposed to do? This is bullshit. This is baloney. I was talking about something good too. Talking about like life or something. Oh yeah. Pre-programmed instincts. Yes. That's what it was. I was talking. Let me write that down. Pre-programmed instincts. I'm writing it down. You know why I'm saying pre-programmed instincts? Because every animal has them, and we should be listening to them over trying to comprehend stuff that is incomprehensible. Uh, like I was talking about having kids. That's a good one. Not murdering other people or ending life senselessly. I mean, that's why people swerve off the road and not just like animals for the most part, you know. But then the only reason why people like cut on for the most part when they're not being just evil, you know. But yeah, that is something, by the way. We'll get to evil. We'll get onto that. I'm gonna write that down. Evil. I'm making thoughts. I've got thoughts in my head. You hear me out. So, um, you should listen to your pre-programmed instincts because the undescribable is undescribable, unable to be understood. The ununderstandable is ununderstandable. So go with what you can understand. Have kids, eat food. Whenever your body's like, I want some like fucking like watermelon or something, you go like, okay, I probably need something with like carbs or whatever to get my energy up. You know, you equate it to whatever the fuck it means, obviously, but like that doesn't mean just listen completely to your instincts, like, but use them as a guide. You know, uh, because if you're just sitting there wondering all day, like, God, what is my place in the universe? Like, where do I go after I die? And like all these questions that, like, you can't figure out, like, who am I? Why do I know I'm me? Like that stuff, like, never ever going to be able to figure it out. We've been trying for like since like we've been able to write stuff down to figure that out. So like you might as well just give up because like who knows? Who knows? You just got to focus on what you can see in front of you and your pre programmed instincts, like eating food, drinking water. Drinking water, God, you know you need to drink water. But do you know if you need to uh go to Mars and then start a branched off human civilization mixed with robotics and like like become planet eaters? Is that what we need to become? Planet eaters? Or or do we just stick with our pre-programmed instincts, which is just like hang out, chill, eat some apples, and like, don't fuck up things too bad, Like just live. Like I kind of think like maybe like this is all supposed to just recycle over and over. And like our energy will be able to experience this all again at some point and maybe in a completely different factor because I mean we're all made up of like stardust and shit, so like we just get smashed back into being a star or whatever and then shot back out over time. And then like we just get the, maybe that's how reincarnation works. You come back as a cow on fucking Mars like a bajillion years in the future or something. Like it's incomprehensible to us, this whole thing. So like shouldn't you just kind of have a good time, go with what your instincts and what the general world has kind of segued towards what is good, like a general consensus? It isn't like I kind of feel like religion in a way has just been like the oldest like rule book for how to behave within that. You know, religion has been trying to define pre-programmed instincts for the longest time. Um, the Ten Commandments, I think, is a really good example of uh, someone or people, Moses trying to define the pre-programmed instincts. Um, I don't remember them off the top of that, but it's like thou shalt not lie, thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not, you gotta love your mom and dad. Don't steal. Like all just stuff like that. Don't murder people. Like it's all the stuff that we just intrinsically know that makes us guilty, and it's also the stuff that makes other animals guilty too. Like whenever your dog, like fucking steals treats out of the fucking his treat jar whenever he's not supposed to, and you come back and he looks all guilty and he's hiding away. It's because he broke one of those fucking pre-programmed rules, which is not steal. His pack instincts are like, hey, we gotta like share with everybody. I can't just go and steal the food and eat it all for myself because then I'm a dick. But that's why they feel guilty when that happens. That's why you feel guilty when you steal. It's evolutionary. It's all just evolutionary. These pre-programmed or instincts. And it goes like over like so many different mammals are just like fucked up like versions of humans if you think of it. Like specifically mammals, like if you look at whales, like why do they have skeletons that look like ours but like grossly disfigured? That's horrifying. Like that's straight out of like a fucking like iron lung or something. Why do some animal skeletons look like just horrifically fucked up, like mutated versions of humans? Why do whales have fingers? That's disgusting. Like, that's the stuff that's just like, okay, I guess we just have to take it on the chin and run with it, and then, just not think about it too much more. Like, yeah, evolution and stuff. Like, obviously, that makes an impact. But, what do we know about that? Like, we've only really started to come around on like accepting even the idea of evolution, and like, there's still so much that we don't know. Uh, God, yeah. Anyway, yeah. Um, so reptilians. That's kind of another subject that I wanted to touch on. Let's write this down. The classic reptilians are like Hillary Clinton, like the typical, like, you go back to 2008 and you're on like conspiracy YouTube videos with like the little like blue screen and like the shitty text that like fades in, and it's like, did you see that? And then I'll like slow down the footage and you'll see like their eyes like get all freaky for a second or whatever. And that stuff, that scared the hell out of me as a kid, I'll be honest. That scared the shit out of me. Seeing that stuff. I did not like seeing Hillary Clinton with demon eyes as a kid, and before I even knew who Hillary Clinton was, I'm like, God, why are they so reptilians? The idea is that it's another race of people that preys upon the human race, right? It doesn't necessarily, I think, I now the way I view reptilians, and in a way to like make it make sense, because I feel like in a lot of way a lot of these stories have to come from something, and like there had to be predators of humans that look similar to humans back in the day. That's why we have Uncanny Valley and everything. Like, that's why, like, there are stories of like Neanderthal times whenever like people would be like chilling out, and then some guy would come up and be like, hey, what's going on, can I join your guys' tribe? And they'd be like, okay, like, it looks a bit different, he's kind of giving us the but he they're like, but he looks close enough to human, I guess like we can trust him. They go to bed, they wake up the next day and all their kids are gone, and they find them eating them in a bush, nearby or something. Like, it's the idea of there being predator species upon people, and or even just like another, it could just be people being predators on people is what I'm trying to get at. Like it could not be, it could be more of like an ideological thing, uh to be more of to be a reptilian. I think to be a reptilian, you're more like you're preying on people in a way that's like you know, either it's through monetary or like control or through like pain and misery, and like you're preying on them, you know. um and I think that's what like a lot of psychopaths are, you know, like psychopaths in a way are just reptilians, like in that definition that I've kind of created right there, you know, like and I think that's where the term where evil comes from as well, uh is more like of those predator instincts that people have. I think that in order to be a predator, you have to have some degree of evil because you have to rip apart something, you know. And in a way, it doesn't, you know, that doesn't mean necessarily that animals who are predators are evil because they don't know what they're doing. You have to have self awareness to be evil. But if you are a thing with self awareness and you have guilt and are able to have enough self awareness to have guilt, then therefore you are able to commit evil. Therefore, like dogs are able to commit evil. If we go back to like what I was saying earlier about if a dog breaks into the treat bowl, you know, like it feels guilty, you see it doing the shifty eye thing, you're like, what'd you do? You know. Um, but I I think that's where evil kind of comes from, is more of that predator instinct. And I think psychopathic instinct, I'm writing this down. I'm writing down evil equal predator. But I think that's that psychopath instinct can kind of come from be like being a predator towards people, you know. Like that's how a lot of people are able to like lie and manipulate really easily and like kind of climb through the ranks more. Like they kind of prey on people in a way, or like it's weird because it's like it's not black and white at all, and like that's all that like people try to do is make things black and white. So at the end of the day, this whole reptilian thing, like it's pretty much just boiling down to like, yeah, some people are evil, lol, kinda in a way. I don't know. I think there's something to what I'm saying here. I can't piece it together. You know, I'm poop wallet, bro. I've got my look at me. Look at me. I'm just talking, bro. This is just stuff I'm thinking about. Stuff I'm thinking about. But yeah. If there is a predator species of people though, that is way more just like, oh wait, no, that's like actually a reptilian. Like that's like they literally shapeshift and they have moon bases and stuff. That'd be. I hope that's real. I hope that's real. That would be so much more entertaining than this like moon bases, real reptilian aliens, and like actually like, oh shit, now we're getting actual like, yeah, I'm an alien, you know, I'm from Mars. We a long time back. We helped with the pyramids. We have a video right here. Like that. What? That would be cool. I would like that. That's what everybody wants from this alien thing. They want to be like, oh, what? Okay, okay, let's get some things figured out. You know, like okay, maybe we'll have some like mysteries go away and stuff. But instead, it's just like clickbait to like deport illegals. I hate it. I hate it. I hate this administration. Why can't we just get real alien shit? Because there isn't real alien shit. We don't know. We don't know. That's why. That's why we're not getting real alien shit. Because like yeah, we don't have much. Obama knows just as much about aliens as you and I do. He's like, I saw the documentaries. Yeah, there might be something. Probably, he's like, they'd have to be hiding it from me too, lol. And we're like, okay, all right. Why do people keep coming out and talking about like them meeting I know why people are coming out and saying that, like, they're meeting grays and stuff and like meeting aliens because it gets some attention and, like, there's so many, like, it's like that pattern recognition part of my head, the human pattern recognition, where I'm just like, there's something that is or isn't adding up with the alien stuff that feels just so weird, like there are some like consistencies throughout it that are just so like strange that you hear all throughout that, like, I don't understand if it's just being a human and like having those pattern recognition things and like other humans manipulating that, or if it's actually just like I should trust my gut, or what even my gut is trying to say. Because like I feel like my gut is trying to say that like we know a lot more about like the whole I want to believe thing. It's like people are they they want to believe. So I mean it's more like, and that's why like there's that gut feeling of like we can't be alone out here because it just doesn't make sense to us, not even like mathematically in our head. Like the idea that we could just be alone out here in the universe, like that doesn't, how would that make any sense? Because we can't even see very far out there, bro, and like it's just so humongous. The fact that if you put the sun like like in a book and made it the dot of the eye, if you did this, like if the dot of an eye in my book was the sun, the Milky Way galaxy would be the entire Earth. What is that? And then you think about like how many Earths can fit into the sun, which is like tens of millions, and like we're just like, we're so small. We're so small. We might as well be an atom. You know, everything just gets smaller, and I think it's just fractals. I think we just fractal and fractal and fractal and fractal, and I think that's what like the universe is. I think it's just atoms and frequencies and stuff that we just can't comprehend, just fractaling outwards. And Yeah, I don't really know what that means. That's the thing, though, is I like what I was saying. Is like, um, you can sit there and you can try to comprehend this stuff that is incomprehensible and like try to make sense of it all. But at the end of the day, like, you will never be able to make sense of it. So it is healthier overall to not really get too into the weeds about it, I would say. Maybe. Maybe. It's weird. It's weird. It's really weird. Like this whole thing is just really weird. I feel like I have like a sort of existential dread about what is going on and like the sense of urgency to like figure it out as well. And I think that's why I like say I sit here and I like um kind of fight with myself, I guess, with like whether or not I should actually consider this universe stuff or not, like because it's like, one, I can't really help it. Like I'm able to comprehend some of the stuff, and why am I able to comprehend some of the stuff but then not other stuff? So trying to figure out that line of the stuff that I can understand and that I am physically unable to understand as a human, what I am allowed to understand as a human and what I am not allowed to understand as a human. Trying to figure that out is pretty tough, I would say. Like what's worth trying to figure out, you know. As far as I know, it's like this is the only thing we know is completely real. So we just have to take it as it is and just kind of have a good time with what we got. Because I mean, like, it could be anything, man. This could be anything. It's incomprehensible. Every single day, there's some sort of magic going on that you try to pretend like you can understand and make sense of, and go, magic's not real. But like, Do you know what electricity is really? Do you know what atoms are really? Do you know what time is really? What is space? What is the distance between stuff? Do you really know any of that? I don't. So, no. That's kind of dreadful. That whole idea. I don't like that. I just freak my out. I freak myself out something. This is why I smoke weed. That's why I smoke weed, because I just go, God. You know, and I'm sitting here talking to myself, and I'm like, oh, you shouldn't really dwell on this stuff because it's like, it's no point, right? And then I dwell on it. Isn't that the human condition, though? What do we do? What do we do? Why can't I understand this shit? Why am I me? Why are you you? Why am I not you? And why are you not me? Am I you? Are you me? Are we all one thing? Like the hippies have been saying forever? Were the hippies right? Who was right? I hope not the Aztec. That would be terrible. Can you imagine if, like, the reason why things have been so shit is because you haven't killed somebody on a temple and ripped out their heart in a while, you fucking assholes? What are you doing down there? That would suck. That would be a bummer. You go to, like, Aztec heaven and it's like, hey, you didn't kill enough babies to get up here, man. Sorry. And you're like, what? Are you kidding me? That's what this is. That was the deal? You guys couldn't do more work to, like, spread the knowledge that we need to kill more babies? Or whatever? Like, you just, like, we're just going to... Okay. Like, some owl god is like, oh, you gotta... And he sends you to, like, Aztec hell, which is like, I don't know, getting your butt penetrated by a sword or something for eternity. Or 12 years for some reason, like an oddly specific amount of years. Who knows? I'm mad. I'm mad now. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm just getting frustrated at the idea of dying and then it being some, like, bullshit that, like, I had no idea. How was I supposed to understand? Like, that's the thing. I'm like, if we're afforded this life by a higher intelligence, it has to be fair, bro. If, like, I have this idea that maybe, like, when we die, we just kind of return to, like, that, like, singular energy that is, like, all of the life force, soul force, or whatever that, like, makes up every living thing. The thing that makes it makes a carbon-based life form a carbon-based life form. I think that we just kind of we've returned to that in the in the end. And then, like, we kind of just, like, become, like, one big old brain or whatever. It's like a neuron thing. I kind of feel like that's what people are talking about when they think of God. It's just like one big old brain neuron thing, which is like the universe, the stardust, all that sort of jazz, So, I don't know, man. It could be whatever. What is it? How long have I been talking here? I feel like I've been talking for quite a minute now. Let me check the time real quick. I feel like this is going pretty well. I'm on a fucking roll, I'll tell you what. Oh, holy shit. I gotta end this podcast. Well, way over time with this one. All right. Like, comment, subscribe, send it to your neighbor, send it to your mom. Tell people to send me money so I can get a better setup. Or send me money. I don't know. I need money. Go subscribe to the Patreon, bro. Please support me. For the love of God. I'm also going to be selling shirts at some point soon. It's shirtsmadebyhumans.com. Go there. Go get your shirts. Okay. Bye.
I grab my nuts. I swab my nuts. I lick my nuts. I do everything to my nuts.